Try
You
it.
guys can hear me okay? Al, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, fine, no problem.
Before I turn over to Terry for Sergeant Barnes stuff, just so you know, I was informed by Dave this morning that on the name change vote, and 19 out of 20 club members have voted, and since it was anonymous, you know, we don't know who hasn't, but even if that person decides to vote here in the near future, it won't change the outcome. So if I remember correctly, there were out of 19, one person had no preference, 15 had the Spirit of St. Louis, and 3 had the Midwest County Rotary Club. So Dave's going to check into seeing what the next steps are to make this official. Yeah, Bob.
I think I read it someplace, but we may want to research. It seems to me that Charles Lindbergh, that area would be the only
All right.
the historic thing. If you think about it, at the time, it's probably only close to
Yeah.
around here. Something tells me I read that somewhere. We need to research.
There's a picture of him flying over the St. John area. Aerial photo somehow looks like it's him with his plane. Can't tell it's him, but that was might indicate that.
Well, there's a aerial photo I found that I shared with. It shows Lake Sherwood, it shows your subdivision as it was laid out before homes were built. So, and there were a couple of other, that was an aerial photo that we took. At the same time, probably 20.
Okay, thank you. Jerry? Yep.
Good morning. First of all, I'd like to welcome our guest, Nikai Floyd. It is Floyd now, right?
No, I haven't got to change.
Oh, you haven't got to change that? Oh, okay. Because I know that was one of the things you were wanting to have at RYLA. So Nikai Steele Myers. So he's was our RYLA participant. He's going to be our guest today.
Wonderful.
Bruce is back with us. Yay! Chase him off. I will start out with some happy bucks. And let's see. One, I'm happy to be here. One, I'm happy Nikai is here. And another one is hoping I have another board meeting in Florida. I'm leaving Sunday morning. I chose Spirit Airlines, kind of spreading around airlines. Spirit Airlines is the cheapest. So I'm hoping the flight really does happen, because I understand that they do cancel a lot. But we'll see. So
Is that here or over in Belleville?
here, out of Lambert. So yeah, the bad thing is if I go to Belleville and fly out of Belleville, I've got to stay in Florida for 4 days because they only fly 1 day a week, or twice a week. So yeah, I mean that's I'm
4 days
trying.
in Florida usually is not
I'm trying to work up the nerve to tell Mary Kay that. So. This is
That's a great one.
Okay.
I think
Mary Kay, here's $1 a year. So. Anybody else with heavy bucks this morning, or bucks of concern, or whatever?
We are leaving this afternoon to go to Texas.
Nice.
Coast of Texas? Good. So you got a good day to leave. Were you driving or you flying?
Fine. And we will be back next Tuesday night, scheduled at midnight. So I don't know if I'll be here Wednesday morning, but I have the program. So it's the back.
That's what one of my flights. My flight back leaves at 10:30 Orlando time. And it's in at midnight. So we'll see. Yeah. I'll give a happy $1 for anybody that's there to greet me. So, take
my nephew's 60th birthday.
all right. Good. Normally we'd say, does he have his license, but now with the graduated licenses.
I don't know, but I bought him a fuzzy dice for the car.
There you
So,
Did you have to explain that to him?
I done it.
Yeah, you're the script already. It was a 57 Chevy.
Okay, Mr. Tom.
I got 2 happy bucks, both for Bob Courtney. We're very glad to see you back.
Anybody else? Okay,
I'm thankful that I didn't have any tomatoes thrown at me last week. I appreciate you putting up with me and my crazy ideas. And I'm also happy because the kids are coming in the middle of March for a few days. Jane is working on wedding planning. She wants to do it in Seattle, but she has family pressure on another side of the family to do it local. So we'll see. Things will happen.
okay, Brian,
I was also happy to see Bob back.
anybody else?
Here, I'll give you $5 since I haven't been here.
Okay. Ooh, you've been on a whole year. My goodness. Thank you. Anybody else? Going once, going twice? Okay. Well, our program today is Nakai, and he's going to tell us, he said, what should I talk about? I said, just tell us about your experience at RYLA. You know, did you have fun? Did you not? If you didn't have fun, we want to know what I saw. He had fun. So he was a little timid in the beginning, but boy, he got sucked in, and I think he kind of drank the RYLA Kool-Aid by the end of the time. At least it looked like it for the dance party anyway. And that's all I'll say about that. Okay. And you could talk from up here, and the microphone should pick you up.
Good morning. My name is Constant Myers. I attended RYLA last summer. I believe. The meeting, like the experience, it was different. My dad graduated from Central University of Missouri, so he already knew the campus, so we got the chance to take the tour before we actually started. And while I was there, I met a lot of people that I've never met before, that I've never seen. In fact, I met one dude and I still talk to him to this day, and he goes to Maplewood, and I've never seen him until I went to their campus. So it was nice to get out and meet new people, because I definitely wasn't expecting to. And then a lot of my students, they were all our age, so like I can relate to them, and I got the chance to really express myself out there, because I don't do a lot, because I don't really talk to people. But I feel like it was honestly a great opportunity, and I learned a lot about myself, and I learned a lot about my peers that I never knew. And I met people from everywhere. There were people that are from Kansas City, and I've never even been there before. And so I feel like it was really informational, and I had a great meeting while I was down there, and there was there, and he really talked to me personally. I feel like we built a real bond in just that short amount of time we were together. And the party was great. It was really great. I usually don't party. Like I kind of stand to the side, do social crowds, but I really got a chance to express myself and tell like how I felt. I just felt like I really fit in there. And I just want to thank y'all for the opportunity to let me go. Because that meant a lot to me. I mean, I don't really do a lot of stuff like outside of school, so I appreciate it. But overall, I say we did the scavenging there, and that really got we got a chance to see teamwork, like how we could work together. And I feel like it really helped me with my leadership skills, because I had to lead the football team this year, and I feel like going to that camp really showed me that I could lead differently than other people, and it helped me expand my mind a lot to new thinking and open to new ideas.
You're a place that
I actually had to take this one. But yeah, overall.
What was your project?
My project, we did safe haven. That's what we did. So we decided to design an app that basically opens up resources to students that or people in general that need it. And so if they don't feel safe through
opening up safe spots, and we were showing them where locations are for safe spots so that they can get out the house if they need to. Because I'm a teenager and I know sometimes it's just, you can't be at home. You need your space. And I feel like with the app we designed, we could really help people to find a place to go. Because sometimes this just is the problem that people just don't have a place. Like they know that they can leave, but they're like, where are you gonna go? So we were just trying to design an app to basically show the accessible spots that you could go to.
I thought about it, I couldn't hold up their presentation, and I just forgot all about that, but it's out there, it's on RYLA.com.
What was your favorite part of it?
I feel like my first day was the best day, honestly. When I first got there, I didn't talk to anybody. I had a roommate, because everybody got a roommate, and he didn't do anything. Like all he did was study. That's it. I've never seen anybody so dedicated to school in my life. He woke up at 6 o'clock in the morning to practice his ACT every day we were there. And he said he scored a 35 and he was going for a 36. I've never met anybody like that. And then he didn't talk for real. I kind of had to get him involved because all he did was school. That was it. The whole time we were there, school and sleep. But I feel like the first day we were there, we didn't know each other. It was like two people that knew each other. So we just all met at the end of the hallway and had our own party. Like we just got to know each other. We just had a little get together, a small gathering, and then eventually we got kicked out. Because it was like, I think it was 12 o'clock in the morning, and they was like, y'all gotta go to bed. You gotta get up in the morning.
You want to know the real reason we made you guys go to bed? Is so we could have a staff meeting and eat snacks. You guys were in our space. So the first night we were out there till 2 in the morning.
Oh, really?
It didn't work after that. We were in bed a little early. So that's why we wanted you to go to bed.
I don't know, it was a great time. We all just sat there, we listened to music, ate some candy, just sang, just talked about life, talked to each other, just got to know each other. I feel like all the young men over there, we all have a bond together. We still talk to each other today, and we all have access to each other. We all talk, we all communicate with each other now, just to make sure that everybody's just all right. So it was nice to find other people like from different areas and actually get to link up with them and talk to them and meet them and talk to them about life. Like, because a lot of people, it's hard to talk to them, communicate to people. But like, if you got somebody to listen and then their input after, that's necessary, like it's needed.
Did you do the activity that True Colors, is that what it's called? Did you do that activity?
I did. I
Tell us
actually have
about
on
that.
one of the wristbands right now.
Tell us a little more about it.
So the blue stands for emotion. And basically the two colors like what type of lead are you? So I had blue or orange. I think my orange one was at home. I had to take it off the football season. And I never found a way to put it back on. But the true colors, it was like what type of leader are you? And so orange stood for spontaneous. I think green stood for strong leadership. Like you just lead, you gotta be that way. And then blue was emotional, and it was one more color. Gold, I think gold was,
Gold was more of a rule followers. Green, data driven. Gold was more.
I had got orange and blue, and I feel like personally that's correct. Honestly, I do lead off my most I like everybody to feel like they're comfortable. So that's like for me that's important to push out comfortability. Like I want everybody to feel like they're safe in me, no matter what we're doing, and I want everybody to participate. So I try to make everybody feel like they can fit in. And then orange, I don't do blitz, or I just go with the flow. And orange is spontaneous, so I feel like that's true. I don't really try to do a lot of things that are organized. I try to just like, okay, this is the plan, we're just gonna do it. And if it doesn't work, we'll just wing it.
why, you still got your bracelet on, why did we make you put on those bracelets?
We had to put on the cut off. Here. It's all right. We had to put on the bracelets, so the day that we did the activity, they separated us based on what our colors were. And then we all got together as one color and we competed. So they were trying to, I guess they were trying to see how our leadership skills were different as a whole compared to other leaders. And honestly, I feel like my team was the best team. My team always gonna be the best team. But we didn't even win. We still the best.
And also, about during your group work, did that help when you were trying to work with your planning to know what type of leader the others, what type of personality traits they have?
Yeah, because you can see it. You can see it. Once it was identified, you can see it. Like, I think we had 2 people in our group that were green, and the whole time we was just Googling stuff, just trying to put a plan together. And I was just like, drawing stuff on the board. Let's just do this. And then there was other people that were like, just sit there and just watch. And then they'd say something after it was done.
How many people were in the group?
I believe 7 or 8. It was really diverse though. It was me, one other African American student, and it was 2 girls and then 2 people from like out there in the county. I don't even remember where they're from. I think it was like, it was somewhere south of like Springfield. But we were all from like different areas, all had different ideas, different locations. We were just raised, so we got to see like how all of us were brought up differently, and then kind of bring it together to think of one common thing that everybody needs.
So if knowing what you know about it now, knowing the group that you were with and not just your little group, but the whole thing. If they offered for you to come back next year, and do it again with the same group of people, would you do it?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And
Would you think you'd get something different out of it?
yes. I think I could. I feel like it'll probably teach me something new that I haven't learned about myself yet. But I know they said I couldn't go back because I actually graduated this year. So I only had a chance.
Was there a difference between the people you from the city and your experience versus people who came from rural Missouri?
Yes, it was a big difference.
What was the difference?
So, I mean, I live almost in San Luis. So a lot of stuff that I see, like people don't see. So living in the city, you see a lot of people that they don't have nothing, like literally nothing. There's people that sleep on the street, but like there's people out there in Kansas City, they're just like, I do this program, I do this program. I'm like, we don't even have that. Like, I don't even know what that is. They were talking about school, and they said that they do like, it's like a pre-college program. I don't even remember what it was called, but they said that they do it freshman year. We don't even learn like that here. Like schools, I feel like school is behind here versus everywhere else. So just even the stuff that they learn in the classroom, like it was stuff I was learning before I got to St. Louis, but stuff I don't learn anymore.
What was your favorite part, and then what was your least favorite part? Be honest.
I feel like my least favorite part was the scavenger hunt, just because I don't like losing, and I don't like being lost. And at one point, I was lost because I was looking for stuff that I didn't know what I was at. And then we lost. We came in second place. And the team that beat us was with the dude from Maplewood, and I was mad because after we had a great laugh about it, but at the time I was like, man, this was beating me from where I'm from. Now I gotta hear about it. And then my favorite part was like when we broke out into the small groups, because then I really got a chance to express myself and like it's different to see what other people go through. And it was interesting to just hear their stories and like, what they face versus what I go through myself.
Which plans post with them?
I'm going to college. I want to go to HBCU.
Where,
I have,
where do you want to go?
I'm thinking about going to Prairie A&M in Texas. I have right now 26 acceptances. So I have a lot of options, but I'm just waiting on financial aid. I'm filling out scholarships. I know college ain't free. My parents are not that.
We play football in college or?
I'm just going for school. But I did play football here and I played volleyball.
Losing that scavenger hunt, is that kind of like losing the Captainville?
Nah. That's a different topic.
Different thing.
You have brothers and sisters?
I have 2 little sisters. I'm the oldest. And my sister, she's a freshman. Probably her 13. She wanna try to do this. I know she don't really get out that much, but I feel like she'd enjoy it.
So, couple questions. Had you ever heard of Rotary before?
No, not before last year.
So if you were to describe it to somebody now, what would you say?
I would say,
Someone say, what is Rotary?
I would say, I wouldn't describe it as what it is. I'd tell them what it does for them. Like how it would benefit you. I wouldn't say Rotary is leadership. I would say it's gonna help you be a better leader. And it's gonna show you things that's gonna help you grow as a person, that it'll help you expand so that you can lead other people. And honestly, I feel like personally, everybody should do it. If you feel like you have a leadership role in anybody's life, you should do it, because it'll help you understand yourself and it'll help you understand how you can lead other people.
So when you got approached for this, because we had a hard time finding students to do this. When you got approached for this, were you hesitant about doing it?
No.
You jumped in right away?
Yeah.
And
I
have you
used to
helped
do
spread the word then to other students?
Of course.
Good.
Our main target is sophomores becoming juniors.
Sophomores becoming juniors, but juniors becoming seniors, and this year it worked out well enough with seniors, current seniors that are going to graduate.
Yeah.
That it's open to seniors again. And they talked about it during RYLA, but there are clubs, Rotary clubs in college. So when you go to your college, if you want to continue learning about Rotary and serving Rotary clubs, that's another good way to get involved and stay involved. Excuse me.
Did they talk to you about interact clubs at all? Have you heard that?
I don't believe so.
Okay, those are clubs for high school age students.
Middle school.
Okay, and we tried to start one at Ritter. We looked into trying to start one at Ritter, but Ritter has a really good leadership class. And we just weren't successful yet.
Thank you very much for sharing with us. Best of luck with you in your college.
Thank you.
Would you all like to see their presentation, their project? If we can.
One full up, right? Then that's the bigger question.
Well, if we don't have the guys pulled up, it's a
We'll find
good
something.
representation of whatever what we do.
Okay.
And they intentionally not, they separate students from the same high school. And they did not put an in my group on purpose, so it's getting out there.
Which one? Session 1, you said, right?
Did you go to session 1?
Yep.
Yeah, you did.
So. Video. Safe Center.
It's not it.
That's not it.
Wait, go back.
Yeah, I thought his name was on there.
That is not it.
Okay, so it's Safe Haven. Okay, hang on now. Okay. Is there audio with it or is it just,
I think this is just the first.
It might be just sliding.
okay,
I think.
Because I know we got up there for the we got on the stage.
okay, so let's see if I can. Full screen. I don't know what autoplay is gonna do.
Every 2 seconds, maybe a little more.
5, sounds good. Okay, so let's see if this starts the way it should. If not, I'll move it.
And as the guy said, they were up on stage and it was kind of a Shark Tank type presentation where each member had to have a thought in the presentation. And then Rotarian counselors graded the presentations on feasibility and how for Rotary to pick it up and do it. The educators, the counselors, they graded them on presentation skills, they graded them on the grammatical, the educational part of the presentation. So each student would go through a slide or two. This is, they had to develop a timeline. Well, you can see what there we go. But the amazing race was basically fun activities to come to this particular portion. Each task was a portion of this presentation and how to do it. Sometimes they were fun tasks, sometimes they were mundane tasks, like normal happens in normal project plan.
It's not always fun and games when you're planning. It's not the exciting stuff all the time.
Develop the budget, where explain where their funding would come from, how their funding would go. So much like our grants.
And that's it.
Which of the slides did you talk about?
I did the budget. I actually did the whole budget slide and I couldn't even follow that.
That's very nice.
Now, historically, when I first started with this, up until about probably 2012 or so, it was all cut and paste activities. Basically, you had a big table and you could go get materials and you had to build a booklet, present your booklet and a skit. Well, eventually we realized that was not life. So we wanted to have the students actually do it like they would, and they were far better than us on Google at the time, on Google Docs. So several of them taught us what Google Docs was all about. I kind of had a smattering of it because it's what was the platform we would use to print it. But and then it just has gradually gone. Now, you know, it was no cell phones, you know, you don't bring your laptops. We've got a computer lab if you need to print something off to put into your book. But now, were there any restrictions?
I think I brought my school laptop where we can. Actually, I think it was on the list until 2 days. To learn the budget. Like, it was one day we sat in the room, we sat in the classroom there, and we just worked. Like, I think it was like 12 hours. We just worked on the presentation.
Yeah. And cell phones were encouraged. They were encouraged to tweet. They were encouraged to send pictures on Facebook. Yeah, and actually the each group that had the most Facebook posts for the day got a prize. Was that the prize?
chest, treasure chest, okay. Yeah, so it was a prize chest. So it was out there. There was also, we have our own Facebook group for that particular session. And only members that attend that session and staff are allowed in. It was very kind of funny because one of the facilitators would come to the front of the stage. Does anybody know Michael Floyd? And they would raise their hand. Michael is Nakai's dad, and they raise their hand. Well, they just asked to be invited to this group. And what is the answer? And everybody was, no! So Kathleen Linden would hit the no button. Sorry. And then I say, you have to explain why. Because it was just a nice, safe spot, a way that you can exchange things. And it's still a functioning Facebook group, but it is closed. Yeah, and it was kind of, it was fun to watch the kids be able to all say, no, you can't be part of this, no. But, and I explained to Kai that the young lady that is my first choice right now from the high school asked me to look her up and really encourage this. I want to touch base with her. I gave her all the websites and things to look at. Her family and her brothers and sisters, no, she's only got sisters, were all very good leaders at the high school and just following the footsteps. And then I got a backup in case something happens. But well, yes, one from Parkway North, and the teacher who's on staff of RYLA from Parkway North. I got an email from him yesterday that he's got a person identified. He doesn't have a class this semester, but he's gonna hunt her down and get her. And
Did they previously have the financial resources, send anyone, or did they not?
They weren't really associated with a club.
So did they ever send anybody?
Not that I know, not that I know. Yeah, this would be a first. And that's one of the things the board agreed upon is, since we've moved slightly out here and that's the first way.
More than one.
That's pretty much true. Somebody asked me why we moved, and I said, well, the main reason is Russo's kicked us out.
There was any other place?
But to me, you guys have heard this. I don't know if Nakai said it. RYLA was my pet, and that was my Rotary moment. As I said. And, I was talking with Valerie Anderson, the executive director last night, and I said, this RYLA is what got me hooked in the Rotary moment. She's a Rotarian from North Kansas City. I think she's going to be club president next year. So, and I told her that, I dropped out of Rotary for a while, and RYLA was what got me back. I tried to get on as a staff member, and I think it was a conspiracy. All Rotarians, because Rich Linden, the curriculum programming director, he said, no, we're just full. We're trying to slide over to having school counselors. Are you a school counselor? He knew the answer. I said, Rich, if I join Rotary again, can I be part of RYLA? And he said, absolutely. That's what brought me back.
Yeah,
It's
big time for a long conversation.
yes. So
The one thing that struck me, I went down like every year, for the opening and then the closing on RYLA. And I think I was down there another couple of years, and you might have been there, I seem to recall you there. But the staff were on one side of the big room. This was at Overland Woods. And the students were on the other side. And everybody was kind of a takeaway. What'd you learn? What'd you know now that you can then, anybody that wanted to say something, how do you feel all of this stuff? Everybody knows the situation with our family and what's going on over the years with our daughter. This one young lady kept reaching for the, no. and then something like it, and she reached, no. She kept changing her mind. Probably about, I think she was the last one to speak. And she took the mic, and you can see there, are you sure? Yeah, I really want to say this. She had indicated, she said, I had no plans to be here. I did not plan to be here, literally. And that word clued me in real quick. She was being bullied at school and said, I'm out. I'm gonna kill myself. She said, I laid all the plans out, and then the opportunity came to go to RYLA, and I'm like, I can do it when I get home just as easily. I'll go to that. And you all saved my life. Those were her words. Because of what the friendship, the guy is, as you mentioned, the friendships that happen. They're people that you don't even know. I thought about that when you talk about the power of Rotary. Number one, the change that the Rotary had with this young lady. And number two, think of the power of Rotary when it comes to the family. They knew, mom and dad had to have known something was not right.
I think she even said, I think she said, they knew, but they trusted it to send me anyway.
And so, I'll be very honest, having been through a lot of that, I'm not sure I would have sent our daughter or son. I don't care which one it was. But that to me is the power of what Rotary can do. And that's the power that we don't realize we have, and we don't bother telling them. So anyway, it's just, how many literal thousands of lives has Rotary changed over the years because of that?
It's interesting also, when I first joined as their staff, they were talking about the changes you see in the students during the week. And they started talking about this one student who, on the opening ceremony, we had him sitting outside, and it was on the ground, a chair, and the girl was just like this. And she sat there the whole time like this, and Valerie said, I got real worried that there was going to be no buy-in. I mean, the whole, but the letter that she wrote that at the end of RYLA saying, this has changed my life. I have learned so much about people. I have learned so much. She said, I did not want to be here. And I thought back to my daughter when we made her go to girls' state because her grandmother was real involved in from the booth. And you're going. And I can imagine listening to that conversation between the girl and her parents. But they said there was just such a transformation in this young lady that by the end she was, like the guy, fully participating, fully into it, fully bought into it. This young lady, the last time I spoke with her, she was a branch manager of one of the new credit, I think the new credit union down in the Rock Road by 170. And it turned out that it was the student that we sent that was this girl. And I when I saw her a couple of years later, I said, by the way, do you realize? And she said, oh yeah. She said, I did not want to go. I did not want to be there, but it helped me so much.
So you weren't there then?
I was not there that day. No. So it's just amazing to me. And one of the things I want to try to do is get out on Facebook and ask any of the students to contact me that we have sent to RYLA, because foolishly, I did not write them all down. So because that's another good stepping point, the RYLA alumni. And I keep hearing RYLA alumni. I'm assuming, I kind of sounded like it was the group study exchange people when we did that, and it was the RYLArians and the exchange students. And do I get that right?
Rotex?
The Rotex, yes.
Yeah.
So so I want to reach out to these folks and say, hey, you know what? If you got anything out of that, get back to the community and come and vote the number. We shall see.
What are the dates?
This year it is, and I walked off and left my phone at home this morning. Session 1 this year is Sunday, June 26th through June 29th. And visitors are welcome. You're welcome to come down for the day. And then the second session is July. It's the weekend after the week after 4th of July. July 10th through the 13th. So, and I have asked, and I hope I get to, I said I'm available for both sessions. So we'll see. Last year I was available for both and was assigned to session 1, and about maybe 4 days later, I got an email saying, hey, the Rotarian dropped out. Do you still really want to be in that? Absolutely. So, if you want to come down and take a look at one day and observe, it's amazing. It is an amazing program. We've been listening to the Yellowstone podcast, the official Yellowstone podcast, and those of you that follow the show, the actor that plays Jimmy is the moderator of the podcast where he interviews the stars and the producers, and he says incredible about every other word. So I'm trying not to say amazing with every other word with RYLA.
Will it be at Central again?
It will be at Central again. And I was wondering why. I know William Woods didn't, Bob, I don't know if they ever reached out to Central Methodist, no, okay. But I will ask that question. I have since been appointed to the board again. So I'm on that, and I'm very excited. We had a board meeting last Monday, and yesterday I was on a Zoom meeting, and it sounds like District 6110. And is that the one down in the far corner?
Yeah, that's part of Missouri, Oklahoma, Nebraska. Kansas.
Well,
Arizona.
Arkansas.
I heard correctly.
Missouri, Arkansas.
Down there, down in that corner.
Okay.
Yeah, like the movie over.
It's a big district. They used to have about 5,000 members and over 80 clubs.
Okay. Well, they have canceled their RYLA for this year. And so when I mentioned that to Valerie last night, and she said, well, we should extend the invitation. If some of those groups from Missouri want to.
It's a district we get our dictionaries from.
Oh, is it?
They have a library or a dictionary project that's organized very well, and they've been doing it for years. So
I don't know if I told you, Jonah did get his dictionary, so I'm sure the dictionaries have been, I don't know, if all the schools are. Jonah had his, and he was very proud. Also, one other thing, if I could, real quick, we talked that the district has that health grant, and at first we talked about Narcan, and then I talked about feminine hygiene products. I emailed Julie Hahn, and she said they are in desperate need of large winter coats right now. So with Dave said that they are available large child size, so I'm going to talk to Julie.
14, 16.
14, 16. And if with the,
that's a large adult. You think,
well, see, the high school students
They won't
don't
wear
really, no, they were, I think, look at.
Yeah. I was gonna say, you know,
It is 60 degrees.
Makai, if it were 10 degrees, would you wear a coat? No. My grandson, who's now an 8th grader, is into the coats. I'm tough. I just got. So, two jackets. Okay.
yeah, but why wear one when you can do two?
That's right. So with this group's permission, I would,
That still qualifies under the house.
Governor Marge checked yesterday, and yes, it does.
okay,
She asked me about it, I told her what we were thinking of, she said, let me check, and it came back, it's fine.
you remember the turnaround on the coats? I mean, if we get them ordered real quickly.
Well, we'll have to do it, we can only order after we get the
Yeah,
the grant. And it should be, it's usually within a week or so.
Okay, good, good. So then we'd still have time, even though they would still carry over. So with this group's permission, I'll pursue that, because it sounded like they need, she was more than thrilled to get help from Rotary, and very appreciative of everything we've always done. She said right now there's an immediate need for large coats, so I'll reach out to her. Well, we can spend up to $1,000, so we'll have to.
The coats are 240 a box. We need to buy a minimum of 3 boxes, and there are 12 coats per box. So it'd be 36 coats out of that one order at a minimum. And that's not, we could order 4 boxes or 5 boxes, and
When we give them all this year, we hold them all.
no, we'd have to give it this year.
Yeah, and then we could just have them shipped, yeah, they've got a place, and I'm sure Bruce does to store those type of things, and to kind of hit home this point, the counselor at one of the elementary schools, Pratt's called Mary Kay yesterday and said, hey, Mary Kay, we got a kid that doesn't have a coat. And we don't have coats to give. So Mary Kay reached out to a friend of hers and found out this child had a coat by the end of the day. So, yeah, I mean, it's.
So if we didn't spend the $12,000,
Yeah, the season's kind of over.
$400, so.
Right.
But we have to throw in 200.
We'll pick up the rest, right? The club would have to pick up the rest.
Oh, and just a reminder, the district service project, March 12th, 10 to 12, the packing of foods, and I know we've raised at least $100 for it. I know I committed 50, somebody.
I need to put
If
something
anybody
in.
else wants to, I told Margie I'd let her know by the 21st, even if I hadn't sent her the money, how much we were gonna donate. So anybody that wants to give, let me know right away so that I can either bill you or collect, and then I'll send it all to you.
I made it, let me go on.
Yes, you
Okay, cool.
I got a Brent Corner from the R12 that spoke about a month or so ago, sent me an email, and a lot of you have seen this. They're having an open house at the location in Overland Center. It'll be on the 24th. It's during lunch hour from 11 to 1 p.m. And it's just to kind of stop in and you can see what they're all about and everything. So, yeah, and a free lunch. So I'll try to remind everyone again next week, but it's on the 24th, which is next Thursday.
Tom, did you have something to or not?
Tom?
No,
You said real quick.
I'll be here next week and have the president presenting in St. Charles Sunrise.
Hey, we could just tap into theirs. That could be our meeting. No, we have a,
Not that far away.
Oh, we have guest speaker.
yeah, we have.
So,
Will you pull it, pick it out and just read the last 3 numbers on it? So last 3 numbers. I'll throw mine here, there. Oh, well, no.
59.
59. Okay, 59.
Not me.
Faucet.
I will.
Ruth. Of course.
Wait a minute, correction here. Faucet. 57.
Oh.
Huh?
How could you do that? I had 5'8".
So, since he's not here, you can pull the card out. If it's the Joker, he wants money. And if it's anything else, he doesn't know anything. Just go ahead and pull out anything but Joker.
There you go.
You write that up and then that way it's out. So. All right.
Well, guys, thank you very much for coming and talking.
Yes, thank you.
Appreciate it.
Anything else for the good of the club? Good seeing everybody. We'll see you next week.
Remember, this should be.
Take care, Al.
School business.
I don't have flags right now.
Oh, you don't?
We'll see you next week, Al.
Yawning.